Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to The Drop, the official podcast of ComicDrops.com. The boys are back. You guys know that song, right? The boys are back. No?
No.
Okay. It's from High School Musical, but you know, whatever. Anyway, we're back, and hopefully we can jump back into our weekly regime of sitting down and talking about the latest news. And speaking of sitting down, allow me to introduce my fellow co-hosts. First up, we have Caboose XBL. How you been, man?
Good. I'm happy to be here once again. Lots of juicy topics to talk about.
You're happy. You're glad to be back.
Glad to be back.
We miss you, Andrew.
I miss Andrew. I wanted to hear it. I was like anticipating. You told me I was going to be on Comic Drops. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to hear Andrew say he's glad to be back again.
And joining us as always is Alex Batts. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Really excited to talk about the news that we have. We've missed a pretty decent amount, but
yeah, we've missed a lot, and you know, we've missed obviously what he just said, but we'll kind of just filter it in with the more recent topics that have happened. And speaking of recent things that have happened, Joe Manganiello has been officially cast as Deathstroke. Freaking Deathstroke is coming to the DCEU in Ben Affleck's Batman solo film. Just in case for those of you who don't follow Ben Affleck on Twitter, I believe it was last Monday, he posted a video that it seems like it was like on the Justice League set, showing Deathstroke kind of walking towards the camera, all like cool like, and you know, people were just like, you know, who's Deathstroke? Is he in the Justice League? And a bunch of other questions that, you know, natural fans of the characters and the DC universe have. And then it comes out today that Joe Manganiello has actually been officially cast as Deathstroke. He's already tweeted on his page. He's retweeted the video of Ben Affleck. I mean, the video that Ben Affleck tweeted out. So let's start. Caboose, what do you think of Joe Manganiello as freaking Deathstroke, yo? I'm so excited.
I mean, just talking about Deathstroke in general, I'm like really upset at myself for never once thinking that could be something worth doing for a solo Batman movie. I mean, hell yes, Deathstroke versus Batman. I am all freaking in. Joe Manganiello, Joe Mango, however the hell you pronounce his name.
Mandarin Orange?
Not only does he have the task of carrying one of the most difficult to pronounce names in the industry, but he's also got the task of playing the Terminator himself, Deathstroke. And I think he's going to do a pretty good job. I mean, I haven't seen too much from him except him playing Flash Thompson in the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. So I don't know what his range is, but I mean, he looks the part. There's some pictures of him online where he's got the gray beard and he has the gray hair. All he needs is an eye patch and he's good to go. That is Slade Wilson right there in the flesh. So yeah, I think he's going to be doing a good job. I mean, if he's terrible on set, all they got to do is keep the helmet on him and you're good to go. I mean, for the most part, all Deathstroke really has to do is kick a lot of ass, and I'm sure they're going to do that justice, no pun intended, with the upcoming Batman film. So, hell yes, all the way. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, and this isn't the first time that his name's been even attached to the character. I think back when Suicide Squad started production, there were rumors going around saying that he had actually been cast as Deathstroke, and he was going to be Amanda Waller's like personal bodyguard. Am I correct?
He was all over the place. He was for Suicide Squad back when that was, you know, the casting was coming out for that. He was originally up for the role of Superman for Man of Steel and up for the role of Batman. Right. I mean, this dude has been dying to get into the DC Extended Universe. So now he's got one of the coolest roles that you could get, and that is a villain role. You know, I think getting a villain role is always so much more fun to mess around with. And not only that, but he's playing Deathstroke. Like, hell yes.
Yeah, and actually, now that you think of it, now that you mention it, I feel like he actually would have been a really good Batman.
Yeah.
That's just me. I don't really... just like you, I haven't seen much of his acting ability, aside from, like you said, playing Flash Thompson in Spider-Man. But from the reaction that I've seen on Twitter and just social media in general, people seem really excited about this casting choice. And... like, I just like you, he has the look. Just give him an eye patch and just let him go to work. I'm so excited to see the Batman and Deathstroke like fight each other. I wonder who's going to choreograph that. I hope it's the same guy who choreographed the warehouse scene in BVS, because that's like That's like my. That's. I'm
That
not
is-
even gonna. All right, Alex. Alex, what do you think, man?
I'm pretty sure that all three of us are like on the exact same page about this. I'm beyond excited that we're getting Deathstroke in the DCEU, like Boo said, and just I've been a fan of. I've wanted him in a movie ever since that Arkham Origins trailer came out way back. I don't remember what year it was, but I remember
Directed
sitting
by
in.
Tim Miller, by the way.
Yes,
Fun
fun fact. I remember like sitting in class and like I was watching that trailer and then I pre-ordered the game like later that day. But I've wanted him in there ever
And then
since.
the game
then.
ended up sucking.
I don't know. I liked it. It's underappreciated.
We'll save that
honestly.
topic for a later date.
Yes.
Anyways, but yeah, just having Deathstroke in the DCEU is going to be spectacular. And like I haven't seen his acting range really at all, but I haven't seen anyone say anything bad about this casting choice. Like Josh said, everyone has been super excited and super hyped about it. So I mean, like, and he definitely looks the part. So I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be amazing.
Just
Yeah.
one thing
The
that
only
I
thing-
need to get
oh,
out of the
no.
way. Sorry to interrupt. Just one thing I need to get out of the way is, and I hate to be like this guy. I hate to be negative about things and go on rants about things, but like to the people out there who are DC fans, it's so good that you're a DC fan. You have a passion for something, and that is awesome. But please don't be one of those DC fans that's like, oh, Deathstroke's coming to the films now. The TV version is trash. You know, like, please. Manu Bennett is a phenomenal actor. He crushed it as Deathstroke, and he is, to this day, the best part of that show. And maybe that might not be saying much, considering what the show is at, but that show was on next level when Deathstroke was a part of it. And Manu Bennett was all because of that. He crushed it as Deathstroke. He was amazing as Slade Wilson in the flashback scenes and in the present day scenes, and you cannot knock his performance just because they're bringing Deathstroke to the films now. I mean, come on. It's just, It's getting old. It's getting dumb. Like, stop doing this thing where if the film version of a DC related thing that was on TV before comes to fruition, and then you just start knocking the TV version of it, you know? It's getting old.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. Sorry, I had to go on that little tangent because I've seen
No,
people
trust me,
online,
dude. Trust
like,
me.
this
I
Chanel
know.
versus
understand.
I know
Walmart shit.
exactly what you're talking about. Trust me.
Annoying. So
One-
annoying when you see that stuff.
One thing that I do want to add about like I don't know how to say his last name.
Manganiello?
I'm not even gonna try. Like I don't want
Joe
to.
Mango?
Yeah. Anyways, he has the task. Like this dude is already huge, but I mean, just think he's gonna get bigger. You know, like everyone who's around Zack Snyder just beefs up, and like he has the task of being physically imposing and being able to go toe to toe with Batfleck. Like he has to do that, and that is gonna be insane. Like,
There's a rumor that Zack Snyder's testosterone is literally made of steroids. Every time he
pees
sweats,
steroids.
every time his aura is around you, you just start to bulk up.
You just gain just like 20 pounds of muscle immediately. Man, I want to hang out with Zach. I'm trying to get big too, man. Let's do it. All right, moving on to something that we have missed. This is when we obviously were not here, and that is Zendaya from like Shake It Up, that little Disney Channel show. She's playing Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man: Homecoming. She is the new MJ in the MCU, or MJ in the MCU. And I mean, for a lot of people, I don't know why, but it's like a sensitive subject. I don't really know why. It's a fictional character. Get over it. At least it's my opinion. You know, if you feel differently, I'm not gonna knock you. But as somebody who cares about the character, I don't see what the big deal is. If this is how I see it, and then I'll move on. You guys can go ahead and chime in. But if the character's ethnicity does not like hold a key to who they are, then it really doesn't matter. So like, no, you cannot make Black Panther white, or no, you cannot make Luke Cage white, or things
Those
like
are characters
that.
that are emphasized to be of that ethnicity, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah, continue.
So I mean that's actually just wanted to say. I'm just really tired of people. Like I saw this video of this guy going, "Mary Jane is white, Mary Jane
I
is
saw
white."
that
I was
video.
laughing.
Oh my god, he was
I'm like-
so angry.
I part of it just like makes me laugh, but then again I'm also kind of sad. It's just like you just can't accept change, and it's a huge problem. But anyway, before I don't want to go deeper down that rabbit hole. But Alex, what do you think of Zendaya as Mary Jane?
I think she'll do fine. I mean, haven't seen her act in anything, but I haven't seen, except for the unnecessary hate as far as that goes, I haven't seen anything negative really about her, like people talking about her acting capabilities. And, they cast her for a reason, obviously, so I'm hopeful that she'll do well. And I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see the movie still, so.
Same. Caboose.
Yeah, you know what? Haters stay mad. I mean, this is great news. I mean, this is good for people of color to finally be going out there and getting major roles like Mary Jane freaking Watson. That is an iconic character from the Spider-Man lore. And hell yeah, Zendaya is going to be Mary Jane. I mean, well, I don't know what the issue is, People have this weird weird like problem with their comic book characters and how they're portrayed on screen. Like they have some sort of entitlement to how they're supposed to be portrayed. Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman needs to be a specific way for people to love it.
I was thinking about that today.
Yeah, Zendaya needs to be a specific skin color. She needs to have red hair, This is all stupid things that are completely trivial to what the performance of the character is. Lex Luthor in BVS may not be the Lex Luthor that you traditionally see in the comics, but it very much so is a faithful adaptation of a version of that character. If you pick up some comic books and you actually read them for once in your life, you would know that. And if you picked up some comic books and read them in your life when it comes to Spider-Man, you would absolutely never find a single moment in that comic book when they say something like Mary Jane is some Italian chick or she's always been this white girl, You never hear Gwen Stacy go, hey, where's that white girl at when she's talking about Mary Jane. Nobody ever emphasizes once that Mary Jane is supposed to be a redhead white girl. And that is why it's okay for Zendaya to be in that role, because that character's never emphasized to be the skin color that she is. It's just been that way. That's how the artists, that's how the writers have always portrayed the character. And it's totally fine to try something new. That is what film is. It is creating a unique and different creative experience. And if you can't get over that, then stop watching movies, pal. That's my thoughts.
Dang, Caboose with 2 rants of the same show.
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
man. You guys are in for a treat.
Dude, I was thinking about earlier today, though, just because you don't like an interpretation of a character does not mean it's not a valid interpretation. Like, I hate how people are so much, they can't let go of that.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's a sign of change. I mean, that's just how our world is. Basically, the films are now reflecting our everyday life. You don't just walk around and just see a bunch of white people. People of different colors, races, genders, everything just around us, and that's just how things are, yo. Just
And I'm not saying
I'll help you build a bridge if you need to, if you need help getting over it. But I mean, I don't.
Dang.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not sitting here saying you can't judge her, because there's people out there who have said, she's a Disney Channel actor, she might not do too well in the role, and that's fair. She was on the Disney show. Disney shows are fairly often terrible nowadays, but at the same time, it's not like anybody writing a Disney show is out there to win an Emmy. They're meant to be terrible. They're just kids shows. So yeah, it's fair enough if you're thinking maybe she won't have the acting ability to be able to handle the role. That is totally a valid criticism. But when it comes to her skin color and what the color of her freaking hair is, you have jumped off my radar in people that I put interest in. So yeah.
Exactly. So I guess that's our general consensus is: if you're mad, stay mad. If you're happy, be happy. Who cares?
Yes.
All right. So let's stick with Spider-Man: Homecoming, because some set photos have come out of a certain character, and I mean, okay, so
sorry,
I'm trying to
gather my
strong opinion about this.
This is an episode of rants.
Okay, so there's a character in the movie by the name of Shocker, and he has been spotted on the set of Spider-Man: Homecoming. There have been some set photos that have come out, and oh boy, do I think it looks like just cheeks, yo. It looks so bad. Unbelievably bad. And I'm pretty sure that this will not be CG'd or in any way. I didn't see any little black dots or green screen or anything remotely close. He was standing on some steps. He just looks like a dude who took some clothes out of the trash bin in downtown New York and just put them on, got some like old shades, plucked the lenses out, glued them together, stuck them on the mask, and then just started walking around.
So
I mean, that's why
basically,
he's Robin Banks.
so
He
basically
needs
the
money.
prototype
He needs
Spider-Man
the guap,
suit.
yeah.
So
why
basically
he's
the
Robin.
prototype
But-
Spider-Man suit from the Amazing Spider-Man film.
What was that?
Basically the prototype Spider-Man suit from the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Exactly, but I mean, actually, I kind of like that. I don't know why.
Okay, so
But-
you see the point?
I don't know. I do not. I mean, I probably would like it a lot more if it didn't look so dirty, and if the actor, I forget his name, isn't his last name like Wookiee or something like that? I don't know. But anyway, that
something
guy,
like that.
like, if he would have bulked up and filled the suit out a little bit more, maybe. And like I said, the whole dirty part. But from what I just saw, from what I'm looking at right now, no. And now people have seen like, oh, this is comic accurate and stuff like that, and I'm just like, really? Like, come on now. But I mean, that's just my thoughts. Caboose, what do you think of Dirty Shocker?
Dirty Shocker. Yeah, I mean, it's the
It could be better.
It's the Shocker, you know, like who cares about the Shocker? I mean, it's not like
I do. I actually like the Shocker.
really. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. For me, it's like I'm not looking for the Shocker to be a main villain in any future Spider-Man movies to come. You know, but to be honest, you are right. The suit does look terrible, and I think part of that is because it is the reason why sometimes comic book accuracy just doesn't translate well when it comes to putting it on film. You know, you got this big goofy guy in this yellow getup with these weird metal gloves on. Like, what are you doing, pal? Like,
He's like a
come on.
mattress.
You could wear something better than that. I mean, what did he
Yeah.
go to a thrift store and he was like, that yellow jacket and that weird goofy yellow mask with the lenses on it is what I absolutely need in my life right now to go out and rob banks. Like, come on. You know, it doesn't look good, but I mean, I don't really care. From what I can tell, considering that we've seen these set photos so late in the game on Spider-Man Homecoming's filming, he's probably literally going to be in the movie for like 2 minutes. No longer than Rhino was in the Amazing Spider-Man films. And all he's going to be is there to throw in some fan service for Spider-Man fans who know the character and to give Spidey someone to kick ass against, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really like losing sleep over it, but the funniest thing about this is we have this leak because of set photos, so it's like that's why sometimes it's okay to show certain things in trailers. You know what I mean? Like with Doomsday, imagine if we hadn't seen him in the trailer and that stuff leaks online somewhere through like a toy fair or something stupid like that, you know? So, like, that's what happens here. We could have waited and found out through some surprise, or maybe even seeing it in the trailer, that Shocker was going to be in the film. But now we get these ugly, blurry set photos of the character. And who knows, maybe on film it'll actually look a lot better. But right now, this is the look we get, and it's like, well, it doesn't look great, and it's super underwhelming because it's all leaked. It's all stupid, blurry set photos. So, yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing people said about Crossbones in Civil War. Like, they showed the set, the suit on set. People were just like, "Oh, it looks really bad here, but maybe it'll look good in the movie." No.
Nope.
No.
You don't think
that one
so?
looked like
I
no,
thought
like
God, no.
Crossbones
That
looked
was-
badass. in the
That's
movie.
my vote as like one of the worst comic book like movie costumes I've
No,
ever seen.
He straight up
Dude.
grabbed some hockey pads out of the dumpster next to
Legit,
Shocker's
dude.
suit and just put them on. Like,
You guys are crazy. Listen, Zemo had a terrible getup. He didn't look like that.
Unbelievable. Those jeans, gross.
Dude, glasses, get out of town. No, I thought Crossbones looked great. I'm gonna disagree with you guys on that.
0 out of 10.
Would not watch again. I'm just kidding. It's a good movie. Alex, what do you think of Shocker, man?
I don't know. I think that I don't think it looks terrible. I think it definitely could look better, but I think that, like Caboose said, one of the reasons it looks so bad is because they are the set photos. You know, hopefully it looks better on film. We don't know, but and then if they do end up doing CGI, I don't know if they will, but like people have been saying that. Then if that's the case, to me it looks like Black Panther did in the first set photos that we saw of him. Because like I remember
Yeah.
seeing the first set photos of him, and like he looked awful. Like I was laughing at them the first time I saw them. So
Yeah, it was all
They're all
baggy
bulky.
and stuff. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if they CGI him, they definitely can make it look way better. But yeah, it doesn't look in the set photos. It looks not. It's there, I guess.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten any set photos of Michael Keaton because isn't he supposed to be playing the Vulture, right?
Well, it's
That's
because
what
they
the-
haven't really confirmed that, so they're probably
Yeah.
trying to keep that under wraps. So,
Okay, that makes sense.
but I mean, he
Alright.
is. I mean, it was announced before we even knew that Vulture was the main villain that he would be playing the Vulture, and now we know for sure that Vulture is the main villain. So it's like, I don't know what.
And then we
secret
also
they're
know
hiding.
that he's in the movie. Like, there's
Yeah.
no.
I don't know what
Yeah.
they're trying to hide. It's not working.
Who knows? But yeah, let's go ahead and jump to the next topic, which is we're actually going to talk some box office numbers here, something we usually don't do, but I mean it's pretty significant. Suicide Squad, the movie that has been apparently just been roadkilled by almost every critic imaginable, has grossed already over $300 million domestic, and it's beaten Man of Steel at the domestic box office. I forget how much money Man of Steel made, but I think it was somewhere around like the 75 range, right?
I can give it a look.
I'm good.
But yeah, Suicide Squad has made 300 million domestic, 378 million internationally, for a grand total of nearly 680 million dollars worldwide.
Man of
For
Steel
a
ran 291 domestic and 377 foreign for a total of 668 million worldwide.
So Suicide Squad has officially beaten Man of Steel at the box office globally, and that's a really, really big like milestone to hit for a movie that was bashed as badly as Suicide Squad was. Now, Suicide Squad wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but it wasn't the worst, and I mean this is a huge win for WB. You know, as for a group of supervillains that a lot of the characters that consist of the Suicide Squad, people that mainstream audiences haven't heard of. This is fantastic, and I'm really happy to see that Suicide Squad is seeing so much success. So I mean, what do you think? Do you think this will be enough for a sequel? What do you guys think?
I'm for sure it's got to be enough to warrant a sequel. It's just whether or not they're gonna have the resources to do so. You know, this was a massive cast of a bunch of different people. You know, and granted, some of the smaller actors, you know, Cara Delevingne, Karen Fukuhara, and stuff like that, they'll probably be easy to book. But you know, getting Will Smith, Margot Robbie, if they want Jared Leto's Joker to return, those are gonna be people where it's gonna be like, you know, they've had to at least sign to a contract to be able to get them all back for another movie. So. But I mean, this movie's made bank. I was totally expecting Suicide Squad to run about 700 million worldwide when it was done, its box office total, and it's well on its way towards that. Hell, if you're looking at the weekend to weekend, funny enough, this last weekend, Labor Day weekend, Suicide Squad actually bumped up 3.6% from its last weekend. And granted, that is through the 4-day weekend, but still, that is an incredible achievement. This movie is trucking along domestically and in the foreign box office, and it's doing extremely well. Don't believe the reports out there that are saying this movie needs to make $800 million to break even. That is bananas for any movie. Granted, Suicide Squad is a big budget movie, but the budget was only like $175 million. You add inflation to that with the marketing budget, and this movie costs maybe $250 to make. 250 million, that is. I mean, it didn't cost $250. Let's
$2.50.
Let's be honest there. But yeah, so it only cost like $250 million. It's made plenty of money for WB, and they have made more than enough to warrant a sequel to get made. And I hope that one does get made, because yeah, I agree with you, Josh. Suicide Squad was not as good as I was hoping it to be. In fact, the more I thought about it, the less I was starting to like about it. You know, it was weird. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, it was pretty good. And then I started to think about it more, and I was like, man, this movie was really good. And then I saw it a second time, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I feel as strongly anymore. So
Same, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like, it's not a 26% bad. You know, it's not like a 2 out of 10 bad. So yeah, I think it's doing just fine at the box office, and it definitely is enough for a sequel to happen.
Indeed, I agree. Alex?
Yeah, I think it's remarkable how strong the box office legs have been for Suicide Squad and how well it's done. Especially, it's worth noting that China is not in any of these.
Yeah.
Like, it did not release in China,
Which
so that
is a big loss.
Didn't they do like a press tour in like China? I feel like I saw some videos.
They did,
What
but
happened with that?
it just didn't end up getting released in China. I don't know exactly why, but yeah, and so that's a large chunk of money that they didn't get from that, and it's still doing this well. So I think it definitely warrants a sequel. I would like to see one, but I would like to see movies that spin off with the characters, I think, first. Or like, and there's a bunch of other movies that I would rather see before Suicide Squad 2 that DC can do.
Yeah.
I honestly want to see a Katana solo film. I really, really do. I feel like that would be one of the more unique superhero films out there. You know, you got like, it's just a cool world, you know? So I want to see that. But do you have anything else to add to that?
There's just so much exploring that they could do with every character that was in the movie, really, if they wanted to.
I definitely need to see some more Joker. That's the last.
Yes,
I would
Joker,
take
please.
I would take a standalone Joker movie. I would see that.
Oh yes.
I know there was rumors of that immediately after, but I don't know what
based on that Joker graphic novel.
Yeah, I would totally take that. That would be amazing, and it would fit so well.
It would do well too. I mean, Joker is a big character, just as big as Batman nowadays. So I mean, that would do well at the box office, especially if you throw.
And then
Harley
people
Quinn in there.
could stop complaining about his screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear they better have some deleted scenes or like an extended version of Suicide Squad on that Blu-ray. Oh man.
I will fight someone.
Literally. All right. Let's moving on to our next topic. And this involves the DC animated movie universe, or not really universe, just animated movies in general. So Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman and Joker in the Batman the Animated Series, were at Fan Expo Canada, which is I think I know somebody who went there.
Yeah.
They were talking. I guess there was like a little Q&A, and they were talking about, you know, I think somebody asked them like which like books, like DC books, they want to see like adapted into animated movies. And they, one of them said, Batman Hush, which is one of my favorite Batman books ever. Like, the whole arc was just fantastic. And then Death in the Family, which was kind of, let's just say, it was basically the prequel to Under the Red Hood. And, you know, it's got people thinking about that maybe, you know, Hush and Death in the Family can be made in some way, shape, or form down the line. Hamill didn't say that they were legit going to do it. It was just kind of speculation or just what he would like to see happen. But I think both of them are really good choices. I would probably lean more towards Hush because Death in the Family, people might see it kind of as a rehash of Under the Red Hood because it's kind of the same. It's pretty much kind of like the same story, at least from what I've seen. But Alex, what do you think, man? Do you want to see a Hush and Death in the Family animated movie?
Yes, I would like them both, and I want them as soon as possible. Because that would be spectacular. And the fact that Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are the ones suggesting that they want these movies to happen, so we'll get the iconic Batman and Joker voicing them. And I think really the only way to do Hush, especially, the best way to do it justice would be to do it through animation and even split it up into multiple parts if you have to, just to really flesh out the story and do it justice how it is in the how the comic version is, because it's such a great story. It's actually the first Batman graphic novel that I ever read, and immediately I was like, yeah, I need more. But I think that it would be amazing. And then Death in the Family, I would love to see that too, but I could see the similarities between it and Under the Red Hood and like why it might not be as successful. But I just need them both, honestly.
Caboose, were you at this Q&A?
I was at the Q&A, and
hey,
were you the one recording?
Yeah. While I don't know for sure, and I don't want to say this because it might sound, like I got an inflated head, but
you're talking about it because of me.
As far as I know, this news story sparked up because of the tweet that I made of them saying it. I was there.
Yeah, I saw that first.
Yeah, I recorded that conversation, and okay. Little side note, some crushing news for some of you guys out there. Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy didn't even know that Young Justice existed when somebody asked them about it.
What?
Yeah. A little off topic, but that was one of the craziest things. But yeah, I was at the Q&A, I was there, watched them talk about all this, and it was one of the more exciting moments of the Q&A. And to be honest, the hush comment was something that I found to be something that could happen, whereas I think Mark Hamill just said, what do you think about doing Death in the Family, just to get the crowd riled up. Because Death in the Family, we've seen it. It's happened in Under the Red Hood. You know, granted, I would love to see that story told again with Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker. But I think Joe DiMaggio, I believe is the name, and Bruce Greenwood did that justice with their performances in Under the Red Hood.
I think so.
I loved his portrayal of the Joker.
Yeah,
actually, I don't think he gets enough
seriously.
appreciation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
funny
it's really
enough,
good.
Mark Hamill really praised Joe DiMaggio's performance as Joker from Under the Red Hood, and praised plenty of the different iterations of the Joker from film and from animated. But
As long as it's not the Young Justice one, I'm fine.
yeah, you know what? Funny enough, the person who mentioned Young Justice, he said that. He was like, yeah, the Joker's voice is terrible on that. And Mark Hamill got a little serious about it. He's like, you know what? I like every little thing about every Joker interpretation. There's always something that I like in this and that. But anyways,
I'm
again,
sorry, Mark. There's no redeeming qualities about that trash.
another topic for another day. But yeah, I'd love to see both these. I think Hush is the one that is closer of a chance of happening. And one of the biggest takeaways that I had from this panel, the best takeaway that is that it seems like without a shadow of a doubt, Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are not even close to done voicing these iconic characters. Kevin Conroy especially, because someone asked in the Q&A, you know, do you guys, or is there a time that you guys want to stop being these characters? And Kevin Conroy was like, no, I'm freaking Batman. I mean, come on. And Mark Hamill kind of went back and he talked about how he tweeted, how he was done with it. And he was mentioning how it was probably a little dumb of him to do that. So it seems like there's no way that these guys are done voicing the Joker and Batman. So, hell yes. Hush, that would be awesome to see put in animation. And to have Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill voicing those iconic roles, I am 100% down. Anytime you say those names in the same sentence, doesn't matter what that sentence is saying, unless it's trashing them, I'm all for it.
I think it's
Yeah,
amazing that they just can't walk away from these roles.
Seriously, I mean,
They're addicted.
they love it. They love it. And how can you not? You're the two most iconic characters in comic books.
Yeah. So we love it too. Don't stop. Definitely. All right, so moving on to the last topic for today, and it might be kind of sad for some of you Booster Gold fans, but we have to deliver the unfortunate news that Booster Gold, the upcoming Booster Gold film, which will, I think, supposedly include Blue Beetle, will not be a part of the DC cinematic universe. I think it was back in May. It was announced that Greg Berlanti, who's behind, you know, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Supergirl, he's working with DC on a film about Booster Gold. And of course, everyone, since it was so close to the, I think it's so close to the announcement of Batman v Superman, or when Batman v Superman came out, people were just like, oh, okay, it's gonna take place in the DCEU. It's gonna be like that lighter tone that everybody was kind of looking for after, you know, the darkness of BVS. And according to Berlanti, that's not the case at all. I forget who he was talking to. Actually, he was talking to Vulture, and he said, as of right now, we have
Michael
no connected.
Keaton?
No, no. Wrong universe, man. Wrong universe. Berlanti went on to say, he said, as of right now, we have no connective tissue to those worlds. It'll be a separate thing. And then he went on to talk about how the idea for the movie actually spawned from him trying to get a show about Booster Gold, kind of just shopping around different channels or whatever. But yeah, what do you guys think about Booster Gold not being in the DCEU? Do you think it's a smart choice, or do you think they kind of made a mistake on this one? Alex, we'll start with you.
I'm really not sure. I think that it will all depend on how good the movie ends up being. But I would have liked to see it connected, but I think it's worth noting that he did say as of right now, so that means the possibility for it coming into the DCEU isn't it's not out of reach, and it's not impossible, but I do think that they'll end up keeping it as a separate thing, especially if it's Greg Berlanti, because, you know, he's so into the TV side of things and, you know, not involved with the films at all, and so it makes sense, but I don't know. I'm also not the most excited for a Booster Gold / Blue Beetle movie. I don't really know much about him. I mean, he seems interesting enough, and I would definitely go see it. But it's not in my like I need that film now. So
Yeah, and just like you said, he said not right now. So the potential for Booster Gold popping up in the DCEU is pretty likely. I mean, Booster Gold is a time traveler after all, so that power set alone makes it possible for him to pop up anywhere. He can, come to a random team and then like, hey, so this bad guy's coming or whatever, something like that. But yeah, like those CW boys just cannot get to the DCEU whatsoever, man. Right? Unbelievable. But Caboose, what do you think?
I mean, again, I'm not really losing any sleep over this. I mean, it's Booster Gold. I mean, it's not like I'm ready. I'm like, yo, Booster Gold, Batman, Superman. I need that movie right now. Like I don't really care. In fact, to be honest, I'm a little more upset if Blue Beetle won't be making it to the DCEU than I am for Booster Gold. Because if Blue Beetle's going to be a part of that movie, then there's a chance that Blue Beetle won't be a part of the DCU. But like you guys mentioned, it's not like it's completely out of question. There's still a chance that it could end up happening, and they could have Booster Gold connected to the DCEU. And if that happens, sure, I won't mind. I mean, to be honest, when you mentioned it, I think this Booster Gold thing would have worked much better as like a little 8-episode miniseries kind of thing. They could have been time traveling, like a buddy cop thing. It would have been fun. Similar to what they did with Legends of Tomorrow, but just on a bit of a smaller scale and a little more of a comedic kind of show, because that is, from what I understand, the character of Blue Beetle. But, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. This Blue Beetle movie, if it does end up happening, they better do it on like a shoestring budget, because unless they market it extremely well, I'm not sure how it's going to do at the box office. But, yeah.
Yeah. Either that or get some really big names to play those characters.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't really see the need for a Booster Gold movie. I really, really, really don't. He doesn't seem... I mean, from what I know, and just like Alex, I really don't know much about the character. I don't see Booster Gold being able to carry a film. Even Blue Beetle, I mean, they're both kind of... I wouldn't say D-listers, because I do rank Blue Beetle a little bit higher just because of what I've seen on Young Justice. But, I mean, I just don't... It's an unconventional team-up movie about characters that 99% of people don't know about.
You're right. They do have to get like a big name for Booster Gold. Someone really charismatic to be able to at least...
The Rock.
Yeah. Can you imagine? To be able to at
The
least
Rock,
warrant this movie's kind of existence, to be honest.
yeah, the marketing team is gonna have their job cut out for them on this one.
Oh, definitely. But who knows? It might end up being like phenomenal. It might be like along the lines of like Deadpool or something like that.
I hope it is. I don't want movies to be bad, but
well, time will tell. Time will tell indeed. But
I don't really know how to add more to that. But
I don't want movies
I was waiting.
To
I
be
was just
bad,
like, you
but,
should add something more.
yeah, I started and I was like, I don't know where this is gonna go. So
Dude, I do that all the time. But I guess that is it for today's episode. I want to thank everyone for joining us again. Again, sorry for the the disappearance. Summer and things and schedules and lives and stuff. Get in the way. But
wait, you guys have
yeah,
lives?
now is the time where we plug social media and things and stuff. Caboose, go.
I do YouTube. I cover the upcoming... You really caught me off guard there.
That was the point.
I do YouTube. I cover the upcoming Injustice 2, which is, of course, the DC fighting game with an ever-growing ensemble of heroes and villains, as well as the upcoming Spider-Man PlayStation 4 exclusive game. And you can check that out on my YouTube channel. It is the same name that you hear on this podcast, Caboose XBL. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at Caboose_XBL. And I have a Facebook that I go on occasionally, and you can check that out. Just search Caboose XBL somewhere on Facebook. I honestly don't remember what the URL is.
No more tumbleweeds.
Yes, no more tumbleweeds. The Facebook is not vacant anymore. I take care of it.
Alex?
Way less social media. You can find me on Twitter at APBatman with 2 T's.
Yeah. Everybody's social media and YouTube's and everything will be linked in the description box below, so you'll be able to go ahead and click that with ease. You can find me on Twitter at Dark Knight of Ren, 1K for the dark and the night. You can follow me on Instagram at DCU News. Make sure you check out comicdrops.com for the latest news in superhero entertainment and just entertainment in general, because we just start posting things that we like. And we will talk to you guys soon. Peace.